Dr. Sri Banerjee, certified astrologer, and I wanted to share with you and a different type of astrological perspective that you can take a look at. And so this is a composite of me and my wife about a conjunction that there is in the house of Capricorn. Of course, the thing about astrology is you can take a look at different perspectives, as in, so you can look at Venus Moon conjunction in the eighth house. So looking at the meaning of the eighth house, the ruler of the eighth house, which is Capricorn, and then Capricorn is you can look at the Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, is a sign in is a it has ruled by Saturn, and then look at this house where it's Saturn, and then kind of go through, and I don't want to go through so it's that many, and then uh, the squares and the aspects, and there's so much going on, and you want to kind of take a look at it piecemeal, not look at all of these different things. So what I chose to do for the two of us is looking at the Venus Moon conjunction in the eighth house in Capricorn. So this was part of the midpoint analysis. I didn't really go into looking at and presenting the chart because what is not something that people know about as much. So I kind of wanted to give you a glimpse of what you can do when you have two people in a chart. So this is Venus Moon in the eighth house, and that means that this aspect emphasizes the need for deep emotional intimacy and can lead to profound transformative bonds with others. So there's also a square there with different planets, and so there's kind of that's considered challenging when there's a square versus a trine, but with time this can be understood and better transformed. Of course, this also means shared resources and finance, and that's what we do a lot of times, kind of going through accounts and whatnot. So the eighth house governs shared finances, inheritance, and joint resources, suggesting that relationships will be intertwined with these areas. So, of course, what I talked about previously, eighth house is a potent indicator of life transformations. So this conjunction can make your relationship a catalyst for significant life change. Of course, when Venus Moon conjunction in the eighth house suggests a life centered on intense emotional connections, again, transformation and deep bonds with others, particularly in areas of shared resources and the hidden aspects of life. So things that might not be reflected to the public, but very deep connections. So this is also indicative of a need for love and harmony, which, when fulfilled, brings happiness, but when unfulfilled, can lead to significant emotional challenges and a desire for profound change in relationships or finances. Then there's, as I said, shared resources and finance, that areas, relationships will be intertwined with these areas, transformation and change. Eighth house is a potent indicator of life transformation, so this can catalyze significant life changes. Of course, attraction and love, you may be drawn to partners who bring financial or emotional support, or whose presence creates major shifts in your life. Secretive aspects of love. Remember, I said secretive aspect doesn't mean that the love is secret, but something that is more profound. So Venus in the eighth house can make one a more secretive lover. So there might be an outer shell, and then kind of keep love on a deeper level. Of course, this is an intriguing layer of romantic pursuits, potential for hidden wealth. With Venus in this house, there's a possibility of receiving wealth or resources from a spouse, perhaps through financial dealings, an inheritance or a partner from a wealthy background. And then a need for harmony, which is very important. The Moon and Venus combination highlights a fundamental human need for love, affection, and a sense of harmony, which, when not met, can create internal struggle. So Venus in this house, in the eighth house, there's a possibility of receiving wealth. Again, that's what I already went over, and financial dealings and inheritance. So then going over the fundamental human need for love, affection, and a sense of harmony sometimes may mean arguments for more intense bonds, but this is only for a sense of growth and creation. Achieve a balanced union of aesthetics and emotions. It helps promote the emotional maturity of individuals for beauty, relationships, and material pleasures. And the natives of this profoundly fancy art, luxury, and harmonious relationships, and hold much appeal and look for emotional and material security. Capricorn influences, adding a layer of depth, seriousness, and a desire for commitment to those individuals needing emotional and relationships. Finally, grounded creativity. While there's a natural inclination towards creativity and joy, Capricorn influence and Saturn's presence in the fifth house demands a structured, disciplined, and responsible approach. So finally, mature expression of love. Relationships are approached with maturity and a desire for commitment. There may be a need to work through shyness or fears before fully opening up to a partner. And so this is something that really makes sense in our lives, and combining all of these aspects. Now, this can keep going on and on about looking at aspects, looking at the ruler of a sign of a ruler and whatnot. So there's a lot going on here, but I think looking at the conjunction with Venus and then how Saturn aspects that is especially important. I hope this has made some sense. Thank you for listening.